He is survived by 10 children, 9 boys, 1 nun, his daughter Liesel.
I've appointed you sole heir to my estate, which you may come into sooner rather than later.
Why? It's been 6 years since our last meeting.
I have my reasons.
Which are what?
My reasons? I'm not saying. I'm saying I'm not saying.
There is a look to his
To
work.
a Wes Anderson, exactly right, exactly right.
It's the latest comedy from acclaimed writer-director Wes Anderson. Jake Hamilton had the chance to chat with the film's Oscar-winning star.
Yeah, we were just saying those Wes Anderson movies just have a certain type to them. Exactly right. Academy Award-winning actor Benicio del Toro leads a pretty unbelievable cast of A-list actors in the new comedy The Phoenician Scheme. Del Toro is just one of those actors who's worked with so many amazing directors over his career. This is his second time working with the legendary Wes Anderson, and I spoke with him about working with great directors. And of course, I had to bring up the 30th anniversary of my favorite movie of his entire career, a little film called The Usual Suspects.
When you first worked with Wes Anderson, I remember thinking, my God, he has worked with so many amazing directors throughout your career. Do all great directors have something in common? Do all great storytellers share one commonality? And over your career, I'd love to know, what's the best piece of direction you've ever received?
Yes, they all have one thing in common. I think that they all lead. They all lead. They all they're the first ones to show up on the set. They're the first ones to they drive everything. So that's what was the other question?
Your favorite piece of direction you've ever received?
Well, I heard it didn't come from a director. It actually came from an actor, Christopher Walken. He said to me, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do anything. And that was Christopher Walken. So if you don't know what you're doing on the scene, just don't do anything.
Wow. That's a pretty awesome piece of advice. I mean, coming of all people, coming from him.
Yes,
that's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's quite an iconic
I love that.
thing.
Yeah.
All right, you all know the drill. When your number is called, step forward and repeat the phrase you've been given. Understand?
And I've always wanted to ask you about shooting the iconic lineup sequence in Usual Suspects. It's one of the most amazing images in the history of a movie, and you get the lines in that moment.
How many keys?
In English, please.
Excuse me.
In English.
How many keys? What the?
I'd just love to know what you remember about shooting that sequence.
I remember that we were all cracking up. We were all laughing, and I don't think Bryan Singer wanted to do that in one take.
Right.
And everyone just broke character, including myself. We were all laughing. We've got the giggles.
God, shut up. I'm gonna knock somebody out, man.
We were grown-up men, and we were like 7th graders. And he managed to use different takes, but he couldn't get one shot. He wanted to get one shot, couldn't get one shot. Kevin Pollak, it was just hilarious, and you know, Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Spacey, and Stephen Baldwin. It was just like really, it was really funny. But don't ask me why. You know, it was funny, but no one knows. It was that moment. Yeah.
You don't put guys like that into a room together.
Step forward.
Who knows what can happen?
The Phoenician Scheme opens in theaters next Friday, June 6th.
I think it's so interesting when someone says something like if you don't know what you're doing, don't do anything at all, because most people will say, fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it.
You know?
And especially coming from Christopher Walken, who does the most. Well, you see, your dad had to watch. You know, it's that's my really bad Christopher Walken impression. But no, I love that. I tend to ask that with actors who have a long history of working with great directors, but I've never had anyone tell me that their favorite piece of direction came from an actor. That was the first time.
Yeah, but they can learn from each other.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
You didn't know what to do, so you're
he's
doing
in
nothing.
scene.
You took a lesson from Walken, baby. I love
Learning
it.
from the best. Learning from the best.
Mike Kaplan speechless. Wow.
Doesn't happen very often.
We're back after this.